Alright, so I had to pull my alternator out because this guy came loose, so split the halves, screwed it back on there. By the way, if I had known ahead of time, you can push something in here carefully, and that's where your two brushes are, and you can retain them so that when you slide the two halves apart, this side and this comes away from the backing. That way those two don't pop out, otherwise you're going to spend half an hour like I did sticking the suckers back in there. But this is a 140 amp alternator off of a 99 Tahoe. I think I paid $40 for it shipped on Amazon. You can get them for like, I don't know, $30 with a 12-month warranty at most pick and pulls. All you gotta do is you take off the gasser pulley and you put your diesel pulley on it. Fan goes on there first. Spacer. Pulley. Retainer. This is like a soft metal washer that just bites into the knurlings on the back here. And then the nut. I'm sure there's some special tool to get these off here, because there's a way to stop the shaft from spinning with a large hex, but if you just hold it by the pulley and hit it with an impact, the same thing happens. So this is 15/16, not the biggest socket, but big enough. And then my little impact. I'm not going to give it much, just probably good enough. I just yeeted something onto the ground like I've been doing all night, but oh well. So anyways, that's on there. It doesn't need to be on there super tight. Obviously the rotation counters against the threading, so unless your motor's running backwards, it's not going to come off as long as it's tight. You don't have to sit there and give it 1,000 foot-pounds of torque or anything. So this is my 93, and so the bottom bracket matches up just fine. The top one, if you know on your stock 93s, this comes out, and it comes out to here and comes to the front of the stock alternator, the 105 amp or 90 amp or whatever. So I just pounded that flat, and at some point in time I have designs on building something across the front to brace it, maybe up to the thermostat housing, or I don't know what would be a good mounting point for that. I mean, there's already a stud on that side, so if I just swap those bolts, then I'll already have a stud to bolt it up to. And again, it's been running for 20,000 miles just like this, but you know, the little added support in the front doesn't hurt. So let's see, I'll take my longer bolt. So there's a longer bolt, and then there's a washer on the back of that one too. This goes, you've got your 1, 2 mount points. It goes down there like that with the bottom mount point. Get the bolt in there real quick. So that's it, bolts in. Just going to get it loose into place. These are not rusted, but definitely a little on the gummy side just from age. So that's loose. Got the other bolt. Also has a couple washers. I'm going to swing this up. Going to line up there. This bolt's going to go right through the front. Whoop. And then we're going to put the washer and the nut on. So anyways, you can see how that works. This was off at 99, and I mean, I don't know if I have the stock alternator plug, because here's what mine looks like on my 93. It could have been replaced at some point. It looks stock to me, but a lot of the wiring's been messed with on this because they dropped a new motor in it in 2008. But kind of hard to see. The stock plug plugs right in there. There's no issues. That's a 4-pin, 4-wire alternator. There's only 2 in this The two are empty, but it plugs right in. Just like that. So I didn't have to do anything extra. In my Suburban, I had to clip the wires. The Suburban, my 96, she's over there. That one needed a splice because it had a different socket, had a single wire alternator. This being a 4-wire alternator. It's just the, what's that say? Power wire and the L wire, I don't know what that is, so whatever. So the plug says PL. There's nothing in F. But that's it. P is white. L is brown. I'm sure you can figure it out by Googling it, but 35 extra amps off of an alternator for $30, and then you have the old one as a backup. And for whatever reason, in the Suburban, the 350, I had to get an inch longer belt. But in this truck, I think because the pulley was swapped over, I don't know, but the pulley fits just fine with the stock belt, so hey, whatever. So yeah, that's the 140 amp alt in my 93 C3500.